Hey, this is Will. So in this Sender review, I am not just going to tell you what are the features that the software has, but rather than that, I am going to tell you exactly what you need to understand about this software to decide whether it's the right email marketing software for you, and also how exactly does it compare to some other email marketing softwares. So I will try to keep this as concise and useful as possible. I do have some special discounts and bonuses, so check out the links in the description. Also, I have some really useful freebies on my website, so I will put those links in the description as well. Also, make sure to check out my main YouTube channel for some really useful marketing videos, and check out my Instagram account for some quick and useful growth hacking techniques. Now let's jump straight into it. So the first thing that I personally think that is the most important thing when it comes to email marketing softwares is the automation. And if you look at Sender, they do have a pretty nice automation that is very simple to use. As you can see, you have all of these different steps. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. So you can see you have all of the different steps. What was the trigger? The action, let's say we're sending out an email here where we have delay, we have the time, so on and so forth. As you can see, you have all of these different steps that you can add. And honestly, if you have perhaps used MailerLite before, this seems pretty much exactly the same in terms of design, in terms of functionality, and everything else. So it's really good. If you watched any of my other videos, I do talk about MailerLite, and I do recommend it quite a bit. And this is pretty much exactly, I would say almost, I don't want to use the word copy, but it almost is a copy. There are a couple of things to keep in mind though. So the first thing that's very important is when you look at the delay, if you press here, you can see that I can basically put in whatever number I want, and then I can choose if it's minutes, hours, days, weeks. Let me actually, oh no, I can't zoom in there. Or can I? No. So I can't add a specific date or time here. I can only choose delay in terms of days and hours. And for some of my automations, I like to choose that, okay, perhaps I want the delay to be set that the next email is going to be sent out on Monday. So someone, let's say, just join my email list, and I know that I'm going to be sending my campaigns on, let's say, Tuesday. So I don't want to send any automation emails on I don't want to, yeah, I said Tuesday. So I don't want to send any automation emails on Tuesday as well. So I want to set up that my automation email is going to be sent out on Monday, or perhaps let's say it's going to be sent out on a specific day of a year, something like that. So this is something that this software lacks. And doesn't have, and that is, I mean, depends on your business, depends whether that is going to be important for you. For me personally, it's pretty important, and that's something that Sender is lacking. Another little thing that some of the softwares have that Sender doesn't, when you look at the functionality here, so you can basically set up a condition, what has to take place for the workflow to move on. So as you can see here, we choose the workflow, we choose an email, and here you have all of the different options. And they do have the main options: open campaign, clicked any link, link clicked, so you can choose specific link, open campaign, but did not click any link. So the one thing that I would change it up and improve would be open campaign, but didn't click a specific link. Sometimes that can be quite important, because sometimes you don't care if they didn't click any link, but if they didn't click, perhaps they clicked some links, they clicked, let's say, on your social media, but they didn't click on that offer link. So this is something that, it's not a major thing, but just keep in mind. I just wanted to let you know, because you might will be wanting to use that feature. Aside from that, a couple more things that the software is lacking. So when it comes to the different steps that you can add, some of the email marketing softwares, they do have split testing within your automations, which is super powerful tool. It's not all of the email marketing it's not all of the email marketing softwares that allow you to do that. A lot of them don't have this feature, so just keep that in mind. But Active Campaign, Get Response, and even Moosen, which is a very affordable option as well, they do have split testing within the automation. Another very important thing as well is when we look at the triggers. So let's go up. When you look at the triggers here, you have quite a few of different triggers, and you have all of the basic ones. The one thing that's missing, that again is just super powerful, is tracking your website. So let's say if someone has visited a specific page on your website, you can trigger an automation that you will send out a specific email to them. And that can be very powerful. Let's say you know that someone just checked your product out, or someone just checked your service, and let's say they didn't take that action, they didn't make a purchase. You can send them out perhaps, let's say, a discount and encourage them to actually take that action. And again, this is more advanced, and not every email marketing software has this. Some of the softwares that have this is Active Campaign, Get Response as well has that, and actually Moosen, again, the more affordable software, has this function as well. So it's just something to keep in mind. The next important thing is pop-ups to collect your audience emails, your visitors emails. And when we look at the pop-up here on Sender, it's pretty basic pop-up, nothing very different. Again, it is very similar to MailerLite. The whole software honestly is almost basically the copycat of MailerLite, but it is missing a few things. So one of the things here, you can have all the basic stuff, adjust the design and things like that. One thing that you can't really do with the image, you can't quite adjust the image size. So that is a little bit annoying. This is something you can do with some of the other email marketing softwares. I do like the layout here, and they have this behavior here, and this is quite normal. You have this on most of the other email marketing softwares, but it definitely has everything that you need in terms of setting up when the pop-up is going to come about on your website and all of that good stuff. So it basically has almost everything that you will need. The one thing I would say it doesn't have is, if you look, let me just show you an example. If we go to MailerLite, you can see here that we have the pop-up that kind of looks the same as the previous one. In here, we can actually change the type. So now we have a pop-up that is at the bottom. Now we have a pop-up that comes in from the side. Now we have a pop-up that is full page, and another from the side, basically the whole full side. So this can be very powerful, because you don't always want to have just a regular pop-up and that's it. You might want to have one at the bottom. I quite like the one at the bottom. It's not as intrusive, and the one that just slides in is pretty good as well, because usually with the regular pop-up, this is used quite often, I would say, for exit intent pop-ups, but sometimes you might want to have some of these pop-ups that just slide in from the side as well. When it comes to the newsletter, I would say that it is pretty basic. Most of the newsletters, they are basic. They don't really differ that much. You have all of the main elements that you will need to have, and as you can see, you have timer and you have review that are the pro, so you will need to get on the pro account for that. And you have all of the different sections, so you can adjust what the sections are going to look like. So it's not a bad newsletter builder, campaign builder, but it's nothing really exciting either. So it's kind of basic. Again, if we look at some of the other email marketing softwares, some of them, they do have a little bit more advanced. They might have a couple more things that you can add, or they might have sections that are already structured in a very specific way. Like again, MailerLite is doing this really well. Now, when it comes to campaigns, I'm not going to go through the actual process because it's pretty much exactly the same on every single email marketing software, but there is one major difference here, and it is so important, and that is in campaigns. As you can see here, it doesn't have any option to do A/B testing. And pretty much every single software out there has an A/B testing for campaigns. So basically what you can do is you can test two different subject lines and see which one performs better. So usually you can select a segment. Let's say you select 50% of your subscribers, you send them out you send them out same email with two different subject lines, see which one performs better, which one gets more opens or more clicks, and then for the whichever one, for the rest 50% of your email list, you are sending out that campaign. And you can adjust these numbers and so on. And you can, with some softwares, you can also test out the body, not just the subject line. But Sender doesn't have this. And this is really, really important because honestly, you would be surprised how much the open rate can differ depending on a subject line, and it's very, very useful. I always use A/B testing, and the difference is quite massive sometimes. So definitely an essential feature, and I'm very surprised that they don't have it. I know that it's a fairly new software, so I think they will add it eventually, but for now, it doesn't exist. Another thing to keep in mind, usually every single email marketing software, they do provide you with landing pages as well. However, as you can see, when we go to features, they don't have a landing page builder yet. They do say that it is coming soon. There isn't a specific date or anything like that. So again, this depends on your own business, whether you actually need a landing page builder or perhaps you already have one, so it's not necessary for you, but something definitely to keep in mind. Also, SMS marketing, it's not there yet, but it says that it's coming soon. At the same time, you can obviously use another SMS marketing software and you can integrate it with Sender and push up notifications as well, coming soon, but it's not there yet. So now when it comes to pricing, I think this is really why a lot of people are interested in Sender, because it is really, really cheap to start out with. And I do want to say that, as I mentioned, it's pretty much honestly almost exactly the same as MailerLite in terms of it looks almost the same. The interface is very, very similar. The way everything is structured is very, very similar, but as I already mentioned to you, it is lacking a few different features from MailerLite, and some of those features are really very, very essential. However, if you don't care about those features, then the free forever plan, as you can see, is up to 2,500 subscribers, which is the most there is for a free email marketing software. I think the other email marketing software that gives out, MailChimp gives out 2,000, and there are a couple more, I think, that give out 2,000 subscribers. But at the same time, what you have to keep in mind is that it's 15,000 emails per month. So it's not unlimited emails, and those 15,000 depends how exactly you are doing this again. But if you're actually creating good campaigns and you're sending out a lot of emails, you're going to run out of 15,000 emails before you reach those 2,500 subscribers. The cool thing is that all features are included, but again, most of the other softwares, they include all features as well. Some softwares might not include landing page builder on the free plan, but there is no landing page builder here yet, so it just makes sense that everything is included. Where it becomes really interesting, I would say, with the pricing is that, let's actually select 5,000 subscribers. So as you can see, with 5,000 subscribers here, costs only $11 a month. So that is just insanely cheap. However, there is one thing that you have to keep in mind, and that is that you can send up to 60,000 emails per month. So if we divide that by 5,000, that basically means 12 emails to a subscriber per month. So again, you need to do a little bit of math with yourself to decide how many emails are you actually going to be sending out every single month. And it's fairly likely, honestly, that you might run out of emails before you actually reach that amount of subscribers. It really all depends how many emails you send, but let's say if someone just subscribes to your list, you're sending them out a subscription email, perhaps you're sending out abandoned carts, perhaps you are sending out a lot of automations, campaigns, and things like that. This is basically 3 emails per month. So do keep that in mind, that you actually should maybe look at the emails, how many emails you're going to be sending, and not the subscriber amount. And if we look at, so just to compare, if you look at, or actually let's go to the bottom. If you look at the bottom here, they do have this table where they basically compare all of the different pricings. And as you can see, Sender is absolutely killing it. Up to $5,011, and as you can see, 5 times less, 6 times less, 5 times, and so on and so forth. So compared to all of these softwares, they look like at the beginning they are 5 times or even more cheaper, which is pretty amazing. When it comes to the higher numbers, the situation is a little bit different. But these are also the softwares, obviously, that they are comparing it with. If we compare it to some other software, so the cheaper side softwares that I usually recommend are either MailerLite or Moosend. And Moosend actually just came out with some real amazing features. So it's actually a really, really good price for what you're getting. So if you look at 10,000 subscribers is $23 per month. And now if we go to Moosend, they have monthly and annual plan. 10,000 subscribers is on Moosend, it's $55 a month. So it is basically double the price, but still it's not as expensive as all of these other softwares. And actually, if we choose the annual plan, you'll see then it's $44 a month, which again is not that crazy of a difference. And if you look at MailerLite, then 10,000 subscribers here is $50 per month. And again, if you do annual plan, they actually give you 30% discount. So it's $420, which comes to be $35 per month. So that basically means if you're comparing it to 10,000 subscribers, it's actually not that different. It's basically $12 difference. That is really not that much. And actually, as I said, if you look at the plans, let me see. So as you can see, if you go through these plans, the price becomes cheaper and cheaper. Whereas with Sender, I would say it's very cheap to start out with. And especially this up to 5,000 subscribers costing $11, that is just insanely cheap. But then the price basically always doubles. If your subscribers double, the price always doubles. Even here from 50,000 to 100,000, it goes from $120 to $240. So that is quite a bit of a jump. So if you look at MailerLite, you will see that their price doesn't just double. It doesn't go from 250 here to 500 and so on and so forth. The price doesn't double based on the subscriber amount. So actually, if we would go, let me see now, if we go all the way to 100,000 subscribers, and if we do annual cost, then it's actually going to be pretty much almost the same as Sender. So I would say really think about that as well, that later in the future, as you progress, the price of Sender, the difference between the price of Sender and other softwares is really going to start narrowing it down. So it is pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. I think it is pretty impressive for the price that the software costs at the beginning to start out completely for free up to 2,500 subscribers and $11. However, as I mentioned, there are a few major features. The A/B testing for your campaigns that's missing, sending on specific dates, also split testing within your automations, and having triggers if someone does a certain thing on your website. Those features are missing. Oh, and also the pop-up customization is pretty nice. So because those features are missing, honestly, I would say even though, yes, you are going to save up a little bit of money, I don't really think it's worth the money. I think it's better to invest a little bit of more of that money. And again, if you want some cheaper options, obviously if you're going for, let's say, Get Response or Active Campaign, which I recommend quite a lot, they are very, very advanced softwares, that is going to be a bigger difference. But you can also, if you're really on a low budget, you can go with Moosend or you can go with MailerLite, and you're going to get all of these really, really important features. And I do think they are going to make a big enough difference for you to get your return on investment and get a lot more out of your email marketing. So that would be my personal suggestion. But if you really don't care about those features and you want to just go with a very, very low cost, then I do have to say that this is definitely a good option. If you're just doing some basic email marketing, then it's definitely a good, cheap option to go with. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope it made it clear whether the software is good for you or not. As I said, I have some special discounts and bonuses, so check out the links in the description. Also, check out some of my freebies for digital marketing, for helping out your business, and make sure to check out my main YouTube channel for some marketing videos and my Instagram for some growth hacking techniques. If you found this video useful, then make sure to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, put on those notifications. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.